Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, hi, I'm Brittany. Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here today. So today we're filming a very exciting video. We're going to be doing a review over two different palettes, but we're going to be comparing the two, kind of versing each other, going head to head. And the palettes that I'm talking about is the new Natasha Denona Cranberry Eyeshadow palette and also the Huda Beauty Ruby Obsessions palette. So I originally went to Sephora for the new Natasha Denona one just because I wanted to review it on my channel, and I was already checking out, and then I asked the Sephora worker, I was like, do you guys carry Huda Beauty? Because I actually didn't see it in the store. It was like a really big Sephora, and they were like, yeah, we have it, and we have all the new eyeshadow palettes. Have you seen them yet? And I was like, no, like, can I go check them out? And she was like, sure. And so I went and looked, and I actually saw this Ruby Obsessions palette, and it looks so similar to the Natasha Denona Cranberry eyeshadow palette. And so I was like, oh my god, like, which one do I get? The Natasha Denona one, it retails for $48, and the Huda Beauty one retails for $27. It's the same price as all the other, like, mini eyeshadow palettes. Now, the Natasha Denona one is not a mini eyeshadow palette, but it's also not a full size. It's the one kind of in the middle. And so let me go ahead and show you the size. This is the size of this one. And if you want to compare it to like a mini one, this is a Natasha Denona mini, and this one is the like middle size. As you can see, it's just a tad bit bigger. The shades in the pan are actually a lot more bigger than the shades in like this pan. They're so tiny. But this one retailed for like $27, I believe. If not, I will have it on the screen, but it's the same exact price as the Huda Beauty one. So yeah. These are kind of like similar, but today we're going to be comparing these two just because the color story was so like similar. They like just look so dang similar. So we're going to see which one is better. We're going to compare the two. I have one on one eye, one on the other. Can you guys tell the difference? They're a little bit different, but the formula is completely different, so I'm going to be showing you the differences. But I did want to do some swatches before we get started on the eye look, so I'm going to be swatching each palette on its own, and then we're going to kind of compare the swatches. So first we are going to get into that. So if you guys want to see this video, let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so the first one we're going to swatch is the Natasha Denona Cranberry palette. This is what it looks like untouched. Super pretty. Alright, so the first color we have here is called Daisy. So this one is Daisy. Ooh, I really like that one. Super pretty pink shade. Next up we have this beautiful red shade. It's called Sakura. I believe that's how you say it. Whoa, okay, so that one doesn't have that much color payoff as in the pan. In the pan it looks really deep, and on the swatch it's not really deep at all. Here, let me go ahead and try to build it up. Yeah, it's just a lot more sheer. Next up we have Botanic, which is a really pretty copper foil shade. This one is Botanic. Okay, that one is a lot more chunky. Just gonna blend that out. It's really pretty though and pigmented. That is really gorgeous. Okay. Next up we have Blossom, which is a really, really deep eggplant shade. Ooh, it's so pretty. Now let's see if this one has a lot more color payoff than the other red. Okay, it does. It's still a lot lighter on the skin and the swatch than in the pan. In the pan it looks so deep and dark, but on the swatch it's not very pigmented, but mattes don't always swatch the best, so we'll see how it looks on the eyes. Okay, last but not least we have the color Nude, which is another foiled color. So pretty. It's like a taupe color. So this one is Nude. Yeah, I have no problem with pigmentation from the shimmery shades, but they're just so pretty. So those are all the shades from the Natasha Denona Cranberry palette. Alrighty guys, now moving on to the Huda Beauty Ruby Obsessions palette. This is what it looks like untouched. Super duper pretty. A lot of similar colors. But this one does have 9 eyeshadows, and the cranberry one from Natasha Denona only has 5, so a lot more shades. So the first one we are going to swatch is this cream color right here. They don't have names, so I'm just going to go from left to right. So this is the cream color. It probably won't show up on my skin just because it's a skin tone kind of color. But there it is. Next up we have this red color that's very similar to the red in the Natasha Denona palette, except it has shimmer. Oh my gosh, guys. Do you see that pigment? Wow. Oh, Jesus. Did you guys see how that went on? That is really pretty. It looks a lot more pink on the skin than in the pan, but oh wow, that one is gorgeous. All right, so next up we have this one right here, which is kind of a warm copper. It's very similar to the one in the Natasha Denona palette. This one right here. Go ahead and swatch that one now. Okay, so that one's kind of chunky, just like the one in the Natasha Denona palette was. But it's super pretty. It's a little bit more rose gold compared to the one in the Natasha Denona palette, as you guys could see. Just a little bit more rosy. Okay, so next up we have the matte dark burgundy shade. Wow, so this one doesn't have that much color payoff either, just like the one in the Natasha Denona palette. I guess this one's just harder to formulate and get super pigmented. We'll go ahead and try to layer it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, those two are very similar. Okay, so next up we have the pinky color in the palette right here in the center. Whoa, that is gorgeous. Okay, now this one does look a little bit more red compared to that one. All right, next up in the palette, we have this dark kind of purpley color. It's like a taupey brown purple. I don't know how to explain it, but it's very unique. This one, of course, is not in the Natasha Denona one, just because that one only has a little bit of colors. Wow. I don't know if I would personally use this color just because it's very deep. It has like a dark black base with some glitter in it, but that is what that one looks like. Moving on to the brighter red in the palette. Oh, I probably should have used a different finger for this one, but we'll see how it turns out. Wow, that one is so pigmented. It's like a bright orangey red. That is pretty. Next up we have this like orangey matte shade. Okay, that one is not that pigmented. I'm gonna go in with the second layer right on top. There we go. That one would be a really pretty transition shade. Okay, last but not least, we have this like reddy pink shade. It's a matte. Yeah, the mattes just don't swatch the best. I'm gonna try to build that up a little. There we go. So these are all the shades from the Huda Beauty Ruby palette. Super pretty. Alrighty guys, so these are both palettes swatched side by side. As you can see, the Huda Beauty one does have some more shades, but they are very similar in like color family. So those are the swatches. Alright guys, so I have my whole face done. All I need is eyes. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started. So I'm just gonna try to create the same look with each palette on my eyes, and we're just gonna see who performs better or if they're the same. So the first color I'm gonna be using in the Natasha Denona palette is this red right here, and I'm gonna be using that as my transition shade. And I'm just going to apply this to the outer corner and also the crease and above it. And just really blow it out. So far so good. It's blending really nice. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and clean off my brush. And then I'm just going to try to find a color that matches the Natasha Denona one in the Huda Beauty palette. And the one that matches the best, I think, is this one in the outer corner. So I'm just going to be using that in the same way, but on this eye. And then we'll see if this one blends out just as good. Yeah, so far so good. It's blending really nice as well. Okay, to go ahead and deepen up the look, I'm going to go ahead and take the darkest color in the Natasha Denona palette, which is this one. It's the like dark red, and I'm going to use that in my crease and also the outer corner of my eye. And this is the color that we had trouble kind of swatching, and well, both reds were kind of hard to get the payoff to show up, but as you can see on my eye, it does look a lot more pigmented. We might have to go in with a smaller brush because it is starting to look patchy, but I think it's because my brush is just so big. Okay, so going in with a smaller brush but the same color, I'm gonna try to intensify that some more and blend it out some more as well. But I'm just packing that on the outer corner and putting it into my crease. Oh my god, I still feel like this brush is still too big. That color though is so pretty. It just is looking patchy. Okay, so I just got a tinier brush. This is the MAC 217. We'll see if this one works. I just need something that's gonna fit really nicely into this part right here. Yeah, that's better. Oh my god, do you guys see that? It like looks more patchy. Maybe it's just the eyeshadow, it's not the brush, because look how patchy that looks. Oh my god. So I'm gonna try to like just smooth out my eyelid and go on top of it like this to see if that helps. But geez, that looks very patchy, don't you guys think? Wow. Okay. Natasha Denona, what are you doing? Okay, so I'm gonna go back in with that transition shade brush. I'm gonna clean it first. And I'm gonna go in with the lighter red to see if we could blend this out because it's looking very patchy. Okay, so it's helping a little bit, but right here in this outer corner where it was really, really patchy, it's just staying like that. I'm gonna just try to blend and blend until we could try to get those patches away. But it is giving me some definite trouble going back in with the 217 and just going over this part. I honestly don't think the patchiness is gonna go away because look, it's just getting more patchy once again. Like, it's like this color cannot be layered very well. I don't know, we're just gonna move on to the Huda Beauty side and see if that one is patchy. Maybe it's just like the color, it's really hard to formulate or something, I don't know. Okay, to give this side a fair shot, I want to use the exact same brushes. So first I went in with that fluffy brush, but the closest color in this palette to the Natasha Denona darkest one is this one right here. It's not as dark in the pan, but hopefully like it will show up darker just because look how dark that one is compared to it. I don't know, we'll see. But this one is the darkest red in this palette. So starting off with the fluffier brush, gonna work it in my outer corner in my crease. And I did clean all the brushes before I went into this palette because I want it to be only this eyeshadow. So far so good. Okay, now going in with the smaller brush, the MAC 217. Oh my gosh, it looks a lot less patchy. I'm just gonna keep packing that on to kind of match colors. This one does look a little bit more purple, but I think it'll be fine. Now I do have a scar right here that it tends to look patchy there, but no, it's going right over everything really nicely. Now going back in with the lighter red and the same thing we did on this side, we're gonna go ahead and just blend out the darker red with this color. I really want to use this pink from the Natasha Denona palette. It's so pretty, but there's no color like that in the Huda Beauty one, and I really want to like compare them, so I'll just have to use it some other day. But so far this side is looking a lot better than this side just because of how patchy that red is. But we are just gonna go ahead and move on. Okay, so the only similar shade that they have that's shimmery is this like coppery color. It's like a coppery rose gold. They have that one in the Huda Beauty, and then in the Natasha Denona, ooh, it closed on me, they have this one right here. And so I think they're the most similar, so that is the color I'm going to be using on my lid. Okay, so I found two of the same brush that I could use for my lid. This is the Anastasia brush. So first we're going to go in with the Natasha Denona color, this bronze copper. What is this called? Botanic. I haven't been saying the name, so I'm so sorry guys. Botanic. Okay. It is pretty chunky and it does seem like it's going to give me some fallout. So I'm going to go ahead and tap off my brush and then I'm going to go straight in with it dry. That is so pretty. I really like that. I always feel like with Natasha Denona, I do end up liking her shimmery shades a lot better than the matte colors, just because her formulation for them is just a lot better. And I'm just gonna take it all the way up to the crease where we have that red color. Okay, so that is what the Natasha Denona side looks like. I'm gonna try going in with my finger just to intensify it some more. Next up, we're going in with the Huda Beauty palette. We're gonna take that same color on this side. These ones don't have names, so Just gonna point to it and tell you guys what I'm using. Tap it off and go straight in. I feel like we're definitely gonna have like two different eyes just because this one looks a little bit more rosy. But for the sake of the video, it's okay. And I don't really mind going out like this. I mean, Harley Quinn did it right. So far, so good with this foiled color. It's just as good as the Natasha Denona one. Great formula. They do have more powder kick up. On both colors, like on both pans, the powder is kicking up, but that tends to happen with really metallic shades like this. Okay, and I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. I'm gonna go in with my finger. Since we have the same brush here, I rather just go in with these two so I don't have to keep cleaning my brush. But now I'm gonna go ahead and take the darker color from the Natasha Denona palette. This is called, oh my god, I just dipped my nail into it. Why me? Oh crap. Okay. This is called Blossom. After I dug my nail into it, I'm gonna go ahead and take this on that same Anastasia brush, but this is the other end of it. And I'm gonna use that to go ahead and deepen up this and blend it with that foiled color. Oh, it looks less patchy now, right? Yeah. It's starting to patch up some more. I don't know what it is with that color, but it just looks patchy. It doesn't look as bad as before, right? Okay, and then taking the other brush, I'm gonna go in with the one that we used on the side and do the same exact thing, just blend it with that foiled color. Still no patchiness. Okay, for the lower lash line, I'm just gonna take the same color that we used in the outer corner onto the lower lash line. Oh my gosh, this Natasha Denona eyeshadow is like putty. It's the same one that I like dipped my nail into, but when I'm pressing into it, it's like leaving imprints. I just love like the purple undertone that this one has. It's just really pretty. Well, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. See, do you guys see that? It's like leaving imprints of where I put my brush. It's kind of like a putty texture. Maybe that's why it doesn't blend that well. Okay, so I cleaned off my brush and now I'm gonna go into the Huda Beauty palette and do the exact same thing. See, this one's definitely a powder. Like, it feels like a powder. It doesn't feel creamy like the Natasha Denona one. It has quite the powder kick up though, as you guys could see. It's just kicking up a lot of powder, but it doesn't really bother me. This one does have some purple in it. It's just not as purple as the Natasha Denona one, since they're like side by side. Now to go ahead and blend that out, I'm gonna go in with the lighter red. So first with the Natasha Denona one, and I'm just gonna blend this out. And the same thing with this side, but instead we're going in with this color. Alright guys, I think that's all I'm gonna do for eyeshadow. I'm gonna go ahead and do my lashes, eyeliner, lipstick, all that jazz off camera, and then I'll be back to tell you guys my final thoughts on each palette. Okay guys, so I'm back. I finished my makeup. This is how it looks. What do you guys think? I think it looks really nice. I did add my face highlighter in the inner corner just to kind of bring the whole look together. I have lashes on, eyeliner. So far so good. So now I'm just going to tell you guys my final thoughts on these palettes, if I prefer one over the other and whatnot. So let's go ahead and get started. So starting off with the Natasha Denona Cranberry Eyeshadow palette. I really love the foiled eyeshadows in here. They have 3. And they're just so really pigmented. They're really buttery. They go on the eyes really nice. The only problems I had with this palette was the dark kind of red color. As you guys saw, it was pretty patchy. I didn't have that much trouble with this matte red. So overall, like, all the palette is pretty good so far. I didn't try these 2 colors on my eyes yet. And so yeah, I didn't end up trying these colors on my eyes, but they swatched really nice. So I can't wait to try them on my eyes and see how that goes. But so far, everything is good except for that one color. Now, as for the Huda Beauty Ruby Obsessions palette, I really like this. I had no problems whatsoever with this palette. I mean, there was powder kick-up, but that really doesn't bother me whatsoever. I like that they have a lot more shades in this palette. They have like this light peachy color, which I could have used as a transition shade today, but I wanted to stick with like the same shades from each palette. They also have this really dark shimmery one, which is pretty unique. And they even have this light kind of base color, which I like these colors to use to set like my eyeshadow primer or concealer, whatever I have on my eyelid. And so overall, I really ended up liking this palette. If I had to pick one or the other, I would definitely go with the Huda Beauty Obsessions palette just because it has more shades in it and it wasn't like hard to blend, no patchiness happened. And so overall, like I got the same look basically with this palette as I did with this one. So even though Natasha Denona is more of a high-end brand, I feel like this formula was just as good, if not better than the Natasha Denona one. Now you do only get 1.3 grams of eyeshadow in this palette and you get 2.5 grams in the Natasha Denona palette, but this one, like I said, does have more shades. So I honestly feel like I would go with this one. I am going to try out these shimmery colors, and if I don't end up liking them, I might just return this palette just because this one is so similar. And that's kind of why I wanted to do this review for you guys over both of them, just in case you wanted the Natasha Denona one but you didn't want to spend that much. This one's $48 like I said at the beginning. You could definitely go with the Huda Beauty one instead, which is only $27. So it's just up to you and what you like. And so yeah, that is my final thoughts on these palettes. If you guys ended up liking this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up so I can know to keep doing these reviews for you guys. I wanted to try a little bit of a different video instead of just reviewing the Natasha Denona one and reviewing this one on its own. I thought I would just combine them since they were so similar. Let me know if you do like these kinds of videos where they're kind of versing each other. Oh my god, the birds outside my window are having literal conversations right now. I'm so sorry if you could hear them. But yeah, that is going to be everything for this video. Make sure to subscribe before you leave. I do make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye! I don't know why I picked up my hands. Bye!